Hi everybody, in this video I'll tell you the most important topics of history and civics for ICSE 10th. I'll start with the First World War and then move on to the rest of the chapters. Make sure to practice from previous year questions and you should also learn the dates that are important. I have some ebooks for ICSE 10th like biology, chemistry, then maths full syllabus, chemistry all reactions, computer full syllabus, English language full syllabus, then physics all formulas. So if you want these ebooks, you can go to the link in the description box. From there you can purchase them. So I will start with the First World War. As you know, in 1914 a war began in Europe which soon engulfed almost the entire world with the battles fought in Europe. So you have to learn the date. The First World War was fought from 28 July 1914 to 11 November 1918. Now you have to learn all the causes as all of them are important. You can't leave any. Please go through the definitions of nationalism and imperialism. Then moving on to race for armaments. Again, there is this definition of mad race for armaments, which began soon after the Franco-Prussian War. And this was one of the reasons that led to the First World War. Make sure to note down the country, learn them properly. Division of Europe. I am telling you the headings, you have to study them deeply because I can't make a full course video, it will be very long. The most important cause here is the Sarajevo crisis. And Archduke Francis Ferdinand, the heir to the throne of Austria-Hungary, was assassinated at Sarajevo, capital of Bosnia, on 28 June 1914. Please note down this date. Alright. The story begins here. See, the assassination was organized by a secret society called Black Hand, right? Or Union of Death. So what happened was Austria served an ultimatum on Serbia, making 11 demands. Serbia accepted almost all the demands except those that would have led to the loss of her sovereignty. Now what happened was Austria declared war on Serbia. Austria declared war on Serbia on 28 July 1914. On August 1, 1914, Germany declared war on Russia and later on France. You can see I have made an arrow here. Germany declared war on Russia and then on France. Now Germany troops marched into Belgium to press on to France, and on the same day Britain declared war on Germany. Now Italy remained neutral for some time but joined the war against Germany in 1915, breaking the Triple Alliance. If you don't know the difference between Triple Alliance and Triple Entente, then you have not learned anything. So you should know the countries that are included in Triple Alliance. They were Germany, Austria, Hungary, Italy and Turkey. For Triple Entente, it was England, France and Russia. Alright. So you have to go through the back exercise questions and also practice from previous year question. Now I will ask you one question. Which country did Japan attack during the First World War? Answer it in the comment section. Okay. Now the results of the First World War. The most important result was the Treaty of Versailles. And I think this is only the part that is in syllabus. On 28 June 1919, Treaty of Versailles was signed in Paris, and the terms of the peace treaties were decided by Woodrow Wilson, the President of US, then Prime Minister of Britain, and there were many other people. You have to go through that paragraph. The defeated countries were not represented at the conference. Make sure to go through the main terms of Treaty of Versailles. It is very, very important. Since Germany was declared guilty of aggression, so it was required to pay for the loss and damages suffered by the Allies during the war. They had to, Germany had to pay $33 billion, right? And there were many other points. We'll move on to rise of dictatorship, in which we will study the terms fascism and Nazism. So these two terms must be learned and the definition of these two will be taught here. What happens is fascism is all about vesting the state power to a particular man, to a particular person. And in this case, it becomes anti-communistic and anti-democratic. You'll have to read the causes for the rise of fascism, which includes economic crisis and class conflicts, the leadership provided by Mussolini. So these two leaders are the most important people in this whole chapter. Make sure that you read all the causes for rise of fascism as well as Nazism. Similarity between ideologies of fascism and Nazism has been asked in previous year, so make sure you go through them once. Again, for the causes of Second World War, policy of appeasement is a very important topic here, since it refers to the policy of conciliating an aggressive power at the expense of some other country, and it means accepting the hostile demands of an aggressive nation. Second is Japanese invasion. You can read it and please note down the dates. Failure of League of Nations. It was created after the First World War to prevent future wars and to maintain international peace. But this could not be proved correct. And next point is Hitler's invasion of Poland. Year was 1939. And if you remember, the book written by Hitler when he was under the bars was Mein Kampf. You'll have to check the spelling. This is the correct spelling, Kampf. So there were many conferences held at this time, and their efforts finally took shape at San Francisco on 24 October 1945 in the form of United Nations Organization. You'll have to learn the objectives and principle. I'll not narrate it here because it will be a very long video then. Then important term, which is 3 new objectives by the UN are disarm, decolonize and develop. DQ. Then the headquarters. UN was set up at San Francisco on 24th October 1945. And then these organs like the General Assembly, Security Council, and then International Court of Justice. For this, you have to read the composition as well as the functions. Veto power is a very important term again. It has been asked in previous year. Then full forms of UNICEF, UNESCO, WHO, their objectives and functions. Make sure to learn at least 3 objectives. Then headquarters. Picture study will also be asked. Maybe they can ask you the emblem of UNO, United Nations Organization, and then questions based on that. Last chapter is non-aligned movement. Again, a lot of syllabus has been reduced in this part. You'll have to study the features. Then Panchsheel, which is the relation between India and China. In 1945, India and China signed an agreement containing 5 principles of peaceful coexistence. These principles, collectively known as Panchsheel, became guidelines for the non-aligned movement. And make sure to study the principles. Last is objective. Learn at least 4 to 5 objectives. Again, I am emphasizing on previous year questions. If you go by this, you will come to know a lot of repeated questions have been asked from the past 10 years. And if you can afford to go back to 15 or 20 years, then you can try them out. The objective questions have been repeated a lot. And yes, causes, results, dates, and important terms, their definitions are asked. Thank you for watching this video. Have a good day. All the best for your examination.